SBA Review Lesson 10 on constant of proportionality with situations. Constant of proportionality is where you have y divided by x, and it's where everything is at the same rate. Meaning, if I divide my units, y divided by x, everything has the same rate. Let's take a look at a proportional relationship. After 2 hours, a machine was able to make 300 t-shirts. After 4, the machine was able to make 600 t-shirts. Determine whether the number of t-shirts made is proportional to the number of hours. If it is, we'll write an equation in terms of the number of t-shirts equals the rate times the number of hours. So let's go ahead and check. Y over X. Y would be my number of t-shirts. X would be my number of hours. And checking this first rate, I have 300 divided by 2. That gives me a rate of 150 t-shirts for every 1 hour. Let's try the next one. I have 600 t-shirts in 4 hours. If I divide 600 by 4, I get 150 t-shirts for every 1 hour. That would be proportional. They're creating t-shirts at the same rate. I now can write it in terms of this equation where I just have the total t-shirts equals this rate of 150 times the number of hours the machine makes t-shirts. Not proportional. You ran 4 miles in 5 days, 6 miles in 7 days, 7 miles in 8 days. Determine whether the number of miles ran is proportional to the number of days. So I would divide my miles by days. Miles by days. My miles by the days. Let's take a look. 4 divided by 5 would give me 0.8. 6 divided by 7 would give me 0.8. Let's round it to 6. 7 divided by 8 gives me 0.88. I take a look. These are not all the same rates. So I would say this is not proportional. It doesn't have a constant or same rate of proportionality. Applying rates. The number of cups of sugar varies directly as the number of cookies are made. So this time they just told us this is going to be a proportional relationship. 4 cups of sugar are needed to make 60 cookies. How much sugar is needed to make 135 cookies? Oftentimes, the easiest approach when you get 3 numbers to answer the rate question would be make a proportion, meaning making 2 equal ratios. So I'm going to have my 4 cups of sugars for 60 cookies. Now I'm going to set that equal to the ratio of 135 cookies to an unknown amount of sugar. Now that I've set up a proportion, I can set my cross products equal. So I need a calculator for that 135 times 4. Oops, put in the wrong number. 135 times 4. And I get 540 divided by 60. So I'm going to need 9 cups of sugar. All right, last one. Unit rates with fractions. Rosie made a tablecloth cover for a dining room table. She bought 5 1/3 yards of fabric. Her total cost was $18. What's the cost per yard? That means I need my X value, or my per, to be the amount of yards of fabric. So 5 1/3. My $18 is my Y, or my output. So I have 18 divided by 5 1/3. Let's go ahead and make that an improper fraction right away. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 more is 16, over that same denominator of 3. To make 18 a fraction, I put it over 1. And now I need to keep, flip, flop. 18 over 1 times 3 over 16. Now multiply straight across. 18 times 3 is 54. 16 times 1 is 16. And let's go ahead and take 54 and divide it by 16. And I get 3.375. If I'm talking about money though, I need to make sure that this is rounded to the nearest penny. So that would be $3.38 per yard of fabric. That concludes lesson review number 10.